Right.
Do I even include an S in this ranking chart that I'm going to give as a poll?
Up to
Probably,
you.
yeah, probably not, because, it's still Academy after all. But there you go, guys. Vote in the poll. The option to rank. There you go. Vote now. Oh, hi, Stuart.
Oh, hi, Commander Samuels. Welcome back to Trek.
Foolish.
Kite. Kitemir. The Kitemir Accords and Kailash
Kileth. Yes, they
and
definitely need
Kronosh.
Cornouche. Yes, they need a checker
L-
on set to.
linguist.
Yeah, well, at least one of the old school ones who did it for decades, not the new ones who did it for like a
Yeah,
year or
yeah.
two.
Anyway, welcome
It's like
back,
it's like
guys.
little
Oh,
needles, as much as jobs are the little needles. Cause like you could have checked, you could have just checked, and just
yeah.
It's like saying Andorians. It's like no, it's not their name. Or Tellarite, well, Tellarites. It's like no, just
Volcanians.
or
This
yeah,
this
or
episode is all about the
Vulcans.
the
Yeah.
Klingons. The
Yes.
Klingons.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
It's like Zoidberg, Rubbits. The
Oh wow,
Rubbits.
what a throw in there, like Zoidberg. Nice. Vote in the poll.
Anyway,
Welcome back.
welcome back, guys. Go vote in the poll, of course. Today we're talking about episode 4 of season 1 of Starfleet Academy, which
Hmm.
is called Vox in Excelsio,
I don't think that's true,
which
Stuart.
means,
I think it's actually called the Klingon one.
yeah, it's kind of, sorry, Klingon, the Klingon win.
The Kronos one. So what? Sorry, what's the translation? I had to get my joke in there. What's it translate to?
Oh, yeah, the title translates to a voice from on high.
Now, obviously, does it really? Because people have already pointed out that when Jaden says in the first episode his name stands for this, translated, and it doesn't, it's an entirely different word and phrase. So I don't know, is that
Ocean
actually
of
what?
fire.
Yeah, because that's wrong. It doesn't in Klingon. I don't know what that might not stand for. That. I don't know. There's a bit of checking. Eh.
Don't know. But yeah, welcome back, guys. It's time for another review, as you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
people, seem to like this one more or less. It's very Klingon centric,
Yeah.
so it's good if you like the Klingons. We've been wondering what happened to them
Uh-huh.
since Discovery got to the future. They wouldn't touch it or mention them,
Mm-mm.
but
Mm-mm.
this episode kind of cleared up a lot.
Would you consider this as a single down, a double down, or a triple down as a Klingon episode?
Maybe a double down.
Okay.
Like they dressed a lot. We saw a lot of Klingons. They all had proper forehead ridges and perfectly pearly white human teeth, which bugged me. Every one of them did. I mean, that could be a genetic thing. They could have fixed that maybe 500 years ago, going, we don't need the sharp teeth.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of little things here that I definitely want to talk about because they're interesting. So I'm gonna start showing. I'll see you in a second.
Go for it. I'm going to tell you guys to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss any content from us, whether it be Klingon content or human content. But make sure you subscribe to the channel and do the things you need to do. Also, make sure that you hit the like button. We appreciate that immensely. Super chat or PayPal in with your thoughts or comments about this episode or anything that we do talk about here. If you want us to talk about it, we do read them all. So make sure you PayPal or super chat in. For maximum effect. Plus, it helps the channel. Also, helping the channel is clicking the links down below to any of the Teespring or the T Public store links. They take you to some Trekyard stuff as well as a bunch of other merchandise as well. So check those out and maybe grab yourself some cool new stuff, some swag, if you will. We really appreciate that. There are also options to join the channel. You can join the channel here on YouTube by clicking the join button down there, or you can also head on over to Patreon/Trekyards and join us over there on a monthly basis. Again, it all adds up and helps us out immensely, and we appreciate any and all of it. So please do what you can. I see we already have a PayPal and we have 2 super chats as well. So we'll get to those as soon as Sam gets back. And thank you so much. And while we're having the discussion, if you guys think of anything that you want to talk about or discuss, that's what the chat's for. So please chime in when you are able to. And if you're able to, like I said, super chat or PayPal, that really means the world to us and helps us immensely. But if you can't, just put it in the regular chat and be sure to vote on any polls that we have, interact in any ways you can. Just be part of the community as best you can. And if that's just a regular chat, that's cool. We love seeing you guys show up and we love talking to you guys. So.
And do keep in mind, guys, the last live of the month, and that's so any support helps a tremendous amount, including on PayPal. That'd be uber wonderful, as I'm sure you just said.
We do have a PayPal.
Yes, Trekyards@hotmail.com is the top.
I'm saying we have a PayPal waiting.
Oh, very nice. But yes, last day of the month for us, so throw your thoughts in. Even $2 makes a big difference.
Yes.
It's your voice,
anyway,
you know. And as some people said recently to me, how our show over the years is like a in stone archive of how people felt at the time. So if this is your one and only chance to put your opinions on this episode in the history of the Trekyards live stream, put it in via super chat, you know.
Poseidon says, no, I will not watch this thing. Weird foot fetish, ultra woke cast of nothing, fluff that caters to less than 5%. Well, considering that you know about the weird foot fetish thing, you obviously have been listening to people that have been talking about all the negative things. Absolutely not one foot fetish thing in this at all. And she sits in the chair properly multiple times too. So better get your shit together and maybe make your own mind up instead of just listening to everybody else, is what I think.
And foot fetish implies something very specific. Just doing 2 shots of feet. You could say a hand fetish, a hologram fetish, a bug fetish, a food fetish. Like, it's not enough to be sort of fetish yet. If it's in every episode, there's always close-ups, fine, but as an extreme exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't listen enough to pay attention to other stuff because that was a moot point at the start. So, give it a watch.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start with Ray Rix's $7.
Oh. He has things to say. I love it.
He says, the Klingon Empire slew their gods a millennia ago, overthrew the Herc, resisted the Federation, the Romulans, the Borg, and the Dominion. What brought the Empire to its knees? An emotionally stunted Kelpian throwing a temper tantrum. I mean, that took out the galaxy, or the known space, essentially, so that's fair.
Yeah.
Nothing they could really do to fight off against that.
Well, no, it's like a Q being snapping. It's like, what can they do? But it is true. They survived everything, and yet that one thing by one alien killed most of them. Like, I'm sure more than half, given the way they expressed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, damn. It's true. I only thought of it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the super chats, which are super. Thank you. And thank you, Ray, for the PayPal. Much appreciated. Those do help immensely, as you know. But Robert Buckley throws in $5. He did this way earlier today. He said, in case I don't make it here at the first, make it here is the first super chat. 5 hours early. Well, thank you. And it's $1 per hour, I guess. That's how that works out. So that's great.
Very nice.
Ozzy throws in $5. Jaden needs a prune juice drink, a Klingon Warriors drink. Indeed. I'm sure that'll come up. I'm sure he's going to try prune juice at some point. I think that'd be kind of funny. But
yeah, the famous Ambassador Worf liked this, and it's like, oh, it's a bit plain. They like add hot sauce to it, and it's like, prune juice, spicy prune juice, Warriors drink. It's like, what? You know, make it a bit more silly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Put any thoughts straight away, guys, and vote in the poll. So, Stuart, what do you think of season 1, episode 4? And, because this time I was able to join you in the rewatch, because I just did not have time the other 2 weeks. What did you think on rewatch? And then I can answer the same question for this episode. It is, I think, definitely out of the 3, a different on rewatch.
Yeah. So, it's very much a paint by numbers, the writings on the wall from the beginning kind of story for sure, especially on rewatches. It's very simple, just connect the dots storytelling, this one. That being said, it's still very Star Trek. A lot of people have said, oh, they did to the Klingons what they did to the Romulans, destroying their home planet. And it's like, yeah, it's essentially the same thing. The fact that they had a whole empire doesn't really factor into it or be even mentioned, but that's fine. So on rewatches, I found it dragged a little bit more each time. There are still sweet spot moments that are fun to see again, and you look forward to those, of course. But overall, I mean, it's a very Star Trek story in its own way, and
that's a compliment
for me. Yeah, for me, it's better than last week's, but it's not the best of what we've seen so far. So, and I love Jaden. I think the actor and the character, I mean, the actor does a fantastic job. The character's really growing on me. Loved his backstory with his parents and his brother. His brother was cool. The fact that he wouldn't kill the bird, and his dad's like, you must honor your brother, and he's like, I am, because he wouldn't want me to do that because this is not who I am. I think was a great message.
It was funny because this show will flip the bird but won't kill the bird.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but there's lots of little things I enjoyed about it. It just the flashbacks to me reminded me too much of Discovery because it's just Ontario outside with an ugly orange filter on it. Just yeah, those kind of took me out of it a little bit, but you know, I like the ending. I like seeing Klingon ships, some STO ships in there, of course, and of course these Federation ships in that mock battle. That was kind of fun. I just think it felt a little rushed at the end, and at the same time, the episode was too long. It was about 10 minutes too long for me. It was like the full hour, and I don't think it needed to be necessarily. The other standout for me, of course, was Caleb and his diplomacy skills or his debating skills. He did a really fantastic job. That actor's just killing it, in my opinion. Anyway, yes. So on rewatches, it's the flaws stick out a bit more as far as pacing and stuff goes, but overall, it's still enjoyable enough. So,
couple of things to address in that. Doctor Sam needs to go. She had one line pretty much. She's being underused wonderfully, so she's not actually annoying. Why did the Doctor stop the debate when it was getting interesting? Because he was formal debate training, not talking training. So that's actually very specific.
And they were face to face about the fight. So
yeah, which as we see later might have been good for them. But and Ryan Linder says, please be honest in your review. It's the only way Star Trek gets better. This was such a bad episode. I mean, we're always honest, and we get criticised for being too honest to try and help Star Trek see what didn't quite work. Or like, you know, and people say we hate it too much, loved it too much. We're always honest. I mean, sometimes you might be less mean than you could be, but also because you understand that being excessively mean for the sake of it isn't what we do. But I certainly don't hold back when it comes to technical stuff or plot points. I don't ever hold back on that, because you can decry technical issues as just, you know, there's a 1 or a 0. Is it a problem or is it a good thing? And a cannon break is a 1 or a, you know, good or a bad thing. Like they say KLS and Kronos wrong. That's just wrong. Might be right for Discovery, but it's not right for the rest of Trek, and that's kind of the overriding thing that's correct. So,
yeah. Like we were called shills and haters all like
back-to-back comments in some videos. Which is
in some videos for Discovery, which they just weren't listening to what we're saying. So
well, they weren't hearing. They were listening. They weren't hearing.
Exactly. So yes, we are honest in our reviews, whether you like to think so or not.
I gave last week a 3 out of 10, or in the 3s.
Yeah.
So
you have a one-sided biased view. That's what you're leaning towards. That's what you hear when you listen to our. You hear the. So it's fine. Thank you for the comment, though.
Always be honest.
Yeah. But Sam,
yes.
What did you think about this episode? I know you're very Klingon. You like Klingon-centric episodes in TNG and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of them, which I think might have turned me off this one a little bit. But how does it feel on a rewatch now?
And already Thribs has said, apparently Kalis is right according to the guy who came up with the language.
Yeah, but that's not how they've said it in every iteration of Star Trek. So it's fine. Why are they just now? This is how our people are supposed to pronounce Kalis. Kalis also called himself Kalis. So
that's my always argument. The clone who knew he was Kalis called himself Kalis. So if himself pronounced himself that's it. Doesn't matter what the guy that invented technical language 30 years ago, who I guess never fought to have them say it right in the show.
Yes.
Because, you know, so unfortunately, use case change. It's like data and data, right? In TNG. Because Patrick said data, his name was Data. His actual character name was Data. And Picard changed it. So use case, people always said it as Kalis, including Kalis, so it's Kalis. You can say Kalis, but that's not the correct way in the context of all of Trek. It's little pockets where it's wrong.
Yeah. And George calls me out and says, Stuart, you're also one-sided and biased. I am absolutely not. Never have been.
I mean, if anything, Stuart's very anti this show because he's like, the Discovery verse, not canon, end of story, go away, go kill yourself. And so he's trying to find the positives, it not being even canon. I at least throw it as being canon. So Stuart's actually actively negative, except when it impresses him. And he was anti Holly Hunter till he saw her. So he was
And
actually
she
negative
impressed me.
until he saw it. So.
Yeah, her character and her acting has impressed me.
And also,
So.
you said yesterday, like yes, last week was also bad. So each episode is dependent, right?
Yep. Yeah, but they, like I said, the people out there, like George, hear what they want to hear, so it's fine.
Yeah, go back and
We're
watch
just gonna
last
keep,
week. We were pretty vicious, or at least
yeah,
it wasn't very good.
we're just gonna keep doing what we do, and
Hmm.
you'll complain all you like, and that's fine. So
I mean, hey,
anyway,
yeah, yes, me. I liked it. I think I liked it less the second time. I don't know if by much. I think possibly the joy was the journey, but when you know the journey, the road is more dull. You know, like if I could take a train trip somewhere, but on the fourth trip, when you know the scenery doesn't have the same impact. So I think I really like the debatey stuff in general, like the concept of that. The Doctor handling it very well. That was nice, but there's a few too many middle conversations that don't drag on. That's the wrong way of expressing it, but they're a few too many and a bit reliant on that. And the flashbacks are so stylized, directing and filming wise, but don't have the Klingon aesthetic of at all. You could have given them one Klingon set. It gives us some tech to kind of ground it. It felt very abstract, and that doesn't encourage more watches. It feels like a fan film, an expensive one, but a fan film, or they could have shot all those sequences in a week very easily. Sunday to set the set and then shoot over a week and done. And it kind of felt like that. They didn't put so much work and effort into it, except obviously the makeup and stuff. So that stuff didn't improve the second time, but I did like seeing the journey of Kadar, what's his name? Jaden. I liked seeing his journey both times. One, to not know where it was going, and the second time to see where he was going and how he was evolving. So that was good, but the stuff around it, I almost wish it was 20 minutes shorter on a second watch. But the good stuff was still good, and the battle end was still good. The message was still strong. I really liked the head of the Klingon people. He was really well cast. I mean, bold cast to pick a both a strong but a gentle guy. Bold choice. It could have gone either really big or really silly. They just went really small and really intimate. I know that was the scenes he was in, but he impressed me, and I look forward to seeing him again. Vance was pretty good, although a bit too emotive, and definitely the captain was more respectful than she's ever been in this show, and I appreciated it. She handled the stuff with the Klingons, even when she's literally her friends with benefits from 100 years ago. She still respected him more than other people she hasn't slept with repeatedly. So she was really good in this episode in terms of respect and development. I hope that will continue as we get on, as she gets more into her role, because they just help. Bloody hell, they possibly unkilled a species. Not that they were going to kill it, but they possibly saved a species. Because yes, one homeworld, and it'll be in Federation space, meaning it's not going to be as prone to piracy because it's in our space, which we can now patrol. So they now have the ability to have a place genuinely safe, and like Cronus like to know, and they're all there. That's really exciting, and I really, really, really hope that's going to be a huge plot point in season 2, that the Klingons are now coming to the table, or we have to do a new peace treaty or a ceasefire because we're at war with them, because we're at war with them technically, which I love. So hopefully there'll be some joke about him popping up in episode 9. But like, oh yes, our official war treaty peace accords. And they just like make out for the episode. Like they come back to them. Yes, we are diplomacying. And then at the end it's like, we have decided a truce. And there's like lipstick. You could really play that for fun. There's a nice texture there, which I liked. And source separation is great. And the acting's good. Some of it's weird, but it's good, if that makes sense. There were some odd choices, but I think the acting was really good. Yeah, so yeah, some small things, some pacing things, but they got way more right than wrong. And while I'm very sad about the Klingons, genuinely, you've always got to remember, even if this is canon, it's still an alternate future, because the whole point of Star Trek Endgame from Voyager is that timelines change, and that timeline got changed, so it can't be the real. It's a timeline; it might change. So this is a version, so it's fine.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some super chats. Royston S. Bailey throws in £2. Kailesh
Oh, is that too bad?
Yes.
Is that? Oh, yes.
Uh,
Okay, no, I'll do.
there you go.
There you go.
Chuck Jones throws in
Big joke.
$5. Was it ever addressed how warp is achieved post-burn? The first episode of Starfleet Academy mentions warp. I didn't watch Discovery after season
Oh.
3. No dilithium? No, they have dilithium. They found a planet full of dilithium in Discovery at some point. Can't remember when, but that's been rectified. That's fine.
Yeah, they just found more, and they disseminated it very, like, I think publicly as like it's fine here, take some universe, and now everyone's fine. There's not even a wisp of that issue. It was great. It was a good time, which I'm glad, because we didn't need that problem holding on.
Let's see. Barry throws in $2. Shaka when the walls fell. Oh no. Yeah. Ray Ricks, £5. Don't lie. You are 100% biased.
Oh my god.
You were clearly paid like 50p to shill for this. Are you also you are also clearly so anti-Trek and negative? Who knows at this point?
Oh goodness.
Really, Ray? Yes, we've obviously been paid by CBS. This is true. Or Paramount, or whoever the fuck owns it now.
Yes, our bank accounts prove that so much.
Oh.
And do keep in mind, guys, this is definitely the worst of the. This is the worst live action Trek in comparison to TOS, Enterprise, TNG.
Oh, yeah,
like, it's the worst by a margin. It's better than Discovery and vibe, and Stranger Worlds is probably better in terms of storytelling and fun stories. But it's definitely like the lowest tier. When we do our reviews at the end, the scores, I do ask to credit Old Trek, because I would be shocked if this gets above like a 7 for Old Trek in any of the episodes, because it's got so many hurdles. So we only really compare it to modern Trek. It's you know, and so it's pleasant, it's pleasing when they raise itself to more modern Trek, and the fact the end has a TNG feel, undoubtedly, the way it's played is a testament to, okay, good, they got some Old Trek vibes. But yeah, it's definitely still the show really couldn't achieve higher than even Enterprise, just structurally and with the, it'd be very difficult to, because that really is like dripping Trek, even if it's weird as well. Yeah.
Olivia Julius, $5. Just like Klingons, Cockings are endangered species. They are not rare. Just will talk you to death.
Oh,
isn't that nice? The Sussy Guru 2000 member for 51 months at the rank of captain. So thank you so much, Captain.
Insane. Thank you.
I thought this was the best episode so far, which is a low bar, but still just okay. Okay, if the best of this show for you, that's fine.
I mean, our review scores they're also in a vacuum. Like, you don't know your previous scores, so that's always interesting. I don't know yet. I think I enjoyed other ones more, and like the acting from the lady in episode 2 was so electric that really raised that for me. Like Jaden's acting is so not one-dimensional, but it's more on this layer, whereas she was like all over the place. She had way more range and made more to it. But that's the character, right? She's sparky, and probably sparky later on. Yeah.
I kind of agree with Antifa Penguin there. Shrugs. I find it watchable and inoffensive. Yeah, I mean, compared to other stuff that we've seen the last couple of years, this is better. Like, they are improving. But I'd much rather go back and watch Golden Age Star Trek any day. But I'm still enjoying it enough to not, feel like it's a slog to watch it.
The thing is, if these characters were the Discovery cast, like that quality of characters, it would be impossible to watch and enjoy. Because the characters are quite interesting and the acting's really solid. So at least on that level, it's interesting to watch. But if this was the level of development of the Detmer and the Washcombe and like that, you'd be like, these are the hollow nothings. But they've all got something, like the Stranger Worlds cast, all had something going in. That means there's something to yeah, I appreciate they're trying. It's a character-based show. It's actually a character-based show over a story-based show. But they have some pretty interesting stories too, at least conceptually, maybe not execution-wise. Yeah, and definitely in Discovery, at least in generality, the writing's just more interesting.
Yeah.
But that's also 5 seasons and however many episodes, so it's a hard thing to compare directly.
All right, let's get into it.
We start with the genuine Trek intro. The ship is out on
A,
mission. She's
a
giving,
chancellor's address, not a captain's log.
which is
I wanna
very
point that
fair.
out.
Very, very
Yeah.
fair. It's an entirely unnecessary, editable, outable intro, but it's sweet and nice and sets the stage well, even though it literally makes no difference to the plot, except they're closer to this maybe planet. But it's just a nice way to start, and she really elevates herself by like 0.5 point for me, because she's, oh yeah, she's captaining. Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm. You might want to resize that window a little bit bigger, because there's a little bit of your window showing at the bottom left there.
Obviously, by 1%.
I know, but it's not as
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get her little thing, and then we
Mhm.
get the doctor who misquotes or doesn't finish the quote of the of Sati, but it was nice to hear it at least and be mentioned.
And I think it's the dad Sati, not the woman Sati, who
Yes,
was
yeah,
mentally ill by the
absolutely,
end.
yes,
Which is kind of ironic. We
yes,
don't know that guy. Yeah, I
yes.
mean, it's funny. I didn't know the quote enough to recognize it as being misquoted. I also didn't think it was that great a quote in this form. I thought it was fine. I think the way it was in the TNG one was better. So I didn't clock it either way. But yes, it's misquoted, and I wish they'd researched that or spell checked, or checked. But also maybe they cut Picardo's for editing. They were like, oh, this bit looks terrible, we'll cut it. I don't know. It's a bit weird. And the funny thing is, any other character you could excuse it, but he says he says throughout the season, perfect memory. So he's the one who cannot get it wrong. So that is definitely an issue. What intrigues me about this scene especially is this the entire class? Because now, for many episodes, it's about this many people and recognize half of them. Is this the entire first year? Right?
Not the entire first year. It's just this debate class session.
Okay.
I'm sure there's another debate class where another set of people come in.
Okay. They've just got a unit, because there always seem to be this number of people roughly. Okay, because yeah.
The thing that threw me out of this scene, though, was the doctor saying debate is not for the chicken shit. And it's addressed immediately like, should you be talking like that? Yeah, I've been around longer than your whole lineage. I can talk the way I want. So that was kind of annoying at first, and then kind of worked out and seemed satisfying, the answer, at least. So
Well, it's called Hanging a Lantern. It's what it did in the first episode as well, with him looking old. They just expressed his programming.
Yep.
He says it in interviews, Picardo, he defends it as he talks like the students to bond with them better. That's not how he just says he wants to, but you cannot even imagine what he's lived through. The fact that he's this similar to his past self is great, because he is channeling EMH so hard this episode. And I've listened to a few interviews with him recently, and he doesn't sound like this. This is not how he talks higher, there's different speech. It's so distinctly not Picardo. So I appreciate he's the doctor, just with that age addition. And it's not like he talks all the time, it's just he'll throw it in for lols, I suppose. But I was all for debate class. I kind of wish it was just debate class and no other stuff. I know that might sound ridiculous, but there's some very interesting universe debates, and then have that be, I don't know, I could have also gone with that and just pure debate class, which is not a thing in the UK. So it's like, you have a debate class? That's cool. Wonder how I'd be. I don't know.
yes,
Matt. Yes, they would.
He talks about debating himself into existence on Voyager, so we got a Voyager reference. And then he's like, well, let's go. Let's Remy, you're first. And then they all line up, and we find out that Jaden, of course, has a fear of talking in front of people, which is very relatable for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To the point where his is very paralyzing. And I find it odd that the doctor's like, Jaden, are you okay? Jaden, he's a goddamn doctor. He should be able to recognize the signs that something might not be right. He's been sure he looks concerned, but
yeah, he's been treating Klingons for 900 years as B'Elanna.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a. I think it's just pleasantries, but yeah, that did come across as like, well, you know he's not. You can see he's not.
Yeah,
and you can say it in a way as like, I know you're not. Are you okay? But briefly before that, I was intrigued that the Doctor, we saw him appear and disappear in the same room. No mobile emitter, because he can't do that mobile emitter. First of all, we know past that, but no mobile emitter. But also, he wasn't affected by the holo projectors going offline in the first episode. So what is he using to to generate himself if it's not a mobile emitter and not the hollow projectors on the ship, but lets him move between rooms. I don't know if there's an answer for that they have, but he's obviously something limit specific.
We need an explanation for that because he did have his mobile emitter. That's what made him unique. But he doesn't have it. He's not wearing it here. I guess it could be like a light bee kind of vibe going on, more modern tech.
But then that's beaming.
I know.
Which is fine, but so I'm saying it was interesting that we put that right in frame. And how much do you wish they actually did debate his existence? Because like, what is he gonna say? Because he's the head debater, right? He's the master debater, you could say. He might give a. I would love that little debate and be like, I'm alive.
Prove to me that I don't exist.
Well, this could be a holodeck simulation. I'm just saying that was a fun. That would have been a great one to start off with.
Yeah. But no, Caleb really impressed me in these. The way that he was just rhyming things off. Impressed the doctor too. And then
he couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Against all reason and expectations. But no, he was really impressing me in this. And considering this is like his first acting gig, like, come on, he's doing a fantastic job, this actor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Ham says, Jane's prosthetics look cheap, not as detailed as Dawn's. I think part of the difference is A, just the materials, but also he's a younger Klingon without the wrinkles, whereas Michael Dorn's Worf was at least 5 to 7 years older, and therefore the skin texture is going to be different, whereas he has a much more youthful feel. So I could buy that. Fine.
Yeah, my only complaint with this episode specifically is there's a lot of close-ups of Jaden's face, very well lit with very good cameras. You can see the contact lenses.
Oh, right.
You can see like the outside of the contact lens. It's a small thing, but
benefit
and his friggin' teeth, perfect human teeth. His whole family had it. It bothers me because even Worf had jaggy.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So one thing I say I want about Jaden. Nope. Yep. Caleb. Is that and I don't do double standards. I try not to in anything. So this episode kind of gave me the Mary Sue vibes for him because this on top of everything else, he has no negatives at the moment, and it's so effortless he's doing this. That's a bit OP. I could buy him reading in prison, but when was he in prison, for how long, etc. And why would the criminal codes about first contacts be that? I don't. If he was in there for 10 years, fine. But he wouldn't be this chip if he's been 10 years. He's a guy that feels like he's been on the run, but not that hard a life. There's a conflict of styles they're doing, and he's too good here. It would have been great had he been beaten again and again, but always be good at his arguments. So I'm going to marry to him a little bit in this episode because he shouldn't be this good.
A little bit, yeah. If you would have had to spend a lot of time in jail to really, and he's young.
A 10-year-old studying every. It's like Red Dwarf, the Space Corps directive. It's like
he would have been in jail for maybe like a couple months and then broken out. Maybe then a max a year. They wouldn't have been in jail for 10 years of this time between the flashback from the first episode till when she found him.
Impossible to know, right? Which is so, you know, and it was just so easy for him because he does not feel like a guy who was tasered in the chest 5 weeks ago in a prison with long hair, right? They've not really lingered on his. It's kind of like the Voyager approach. They've reset his character every week. They're all just the fresh cadets after episode 1 and kind of ignoring the backstory a little bit. It does help in some ways, but it's odd. He was a bit too OP this week.
Yeah, that's fair. Next scene, he's hanging out with Caleb and Jaden are hanging out, and they're talking about food and pepperoni and the best part.
Oh man, the CG of that dot going into the room in one shot, the reflections, as you point out, reflections, is absolutely immaculate. That's a crazy flex, and it doesn't feel like anything. And I kind of like the dots as little helper droids versus repair robots. That's a far more appreciative selling point. I kind of like he brought them food, and it's so well done CG. Yeah, we don't credit that.
Thrib says, I thought he was making up directives. No, he wasn't.
Which would have been a great joke as well. That would have
been.
Especially if the Doctor knew and didn't say anything to see if the other one would catch him. That would have been funnier and cleverer, but yeah. Hey, Donnie, welcome. There is a PayPal as well, Stuart, because PayPal is essential. So thanks so much in advance. Do super chat comments, your comments, thoughts, and questions. 67 viewers, and I appreciate that because the viewership on our editor reviews is down from the first episode, but you guys are showing up for the lives to put your thoughts, which is wonderful. And we've got 84 votes on the poll. We'd love to get to 90 votes and I'll read out the results. Very interesting spread, so vote now. Go, go, go.
All right, so Ray Ricks again throws in $7. Thank you
Appreciate
so
you.
much, Ray. I'm not a member berry brigade,
Ooh.
but the butchering of the Aaron Satie speech from Drum Head was not so great. But also, I have been on birthday drinks, so any comment in super chats can't be held against me. Fair
Oh,
enough.
his birthday today? Or besides birthday drinks?
I think it might be his birthday today.
Remind us. Also, happy birthday, whoever it is. Probably you. If not you, happy birthday. So 84 votes. Vote in the poll right now. At least 85. Come on, vote spike. Vote spike. Vote spike. Yes.
Indeed.
But I like the food scene. I thought it was actually just enough illegality that it was okay. It wasn't too dickish.
We find out about the Warriors stew.
Yep. I kind of like pepperoni pizza. That was kind of charming. That said, I think he's a very unique Klingon, right? Because most Klingons aren't pacifists, and certainly Klingons don't feel the need to only eat food that's been killed in honor. I mean, gach, it's not honorable to eat live worms that's been brought to you in a truck from a farm, right? That's not... Now, for him, that's fine, but that is certainly not a thing. Worf certainly isn't... You know what I mean? It's replicated food, so... Bit of a contradiction in this scene, but if it's for him only, fine. That just means he's basically a vegan, even replicator vegan, because nothing replicator was honorably killed, so he's just a vegan then, right? Logically.
Well, what the last episode or the one before he was talking about everything must have blood. If it's meat, blood must be involved.
Which is fair when he's home, but do you know what I mean? He must be a vegan here, otherwise.
Yeah.
Weird scene in that regard.
Here we find out too that he has a mother and two fathers.
No, not
triad house.
Yeah, that they never say two fathers, because that's the assumption. But he never says two fathers. And a triad house could mean just an uncle or a helper. Because I don't want to give him. Because he never says my dad's.
If hold on. If the Klingons are desperate because most of their population got killed, it would make sense to have two dads and one mom, kind of as a triad thing to like genetically repopulate the species, kind of. But yeah, the one father, quote unquote, doesn't speak during this episode. He's in it and you see him, but I first watched, assumed it was another brother or something. Then I actually figured out that it was a triad house. So
yeah, and
interesting.
It's such a throwaway line that if you miss it, the guy is the dad's brother or the mum's brother.
Yeah.
If you don't miss it, he never says dad. Like, I want to be technical with that. It could mean anything. So it's indistinct. They're not committing, but they're interesting. Because a triad house could just mean and a protector, a designated protector to the house. So we're a triad house with a mum, dad, and protector. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't annoyingly my dad one, dad two. Because if the other guy was a dad, he had shitty amount of parenting in this episode. He didn't project as that, so I'm gonna say probably wasn't two dads.
Also didn't project as a protector, like you just said either. It's very passive, actually.
But it didn't have to protect from anything. Like dad would take on a hunting thing. That was a dad thing. Nothing to protect from in this episode. Oh yes, and many Kailash. This guy really. Now I can buy it. He would say it wrong because he's been out in the universe, so people are saying it wrong. And some humans say it properly. Say Kronos, but he's saying, "Oh, we're nice to go to Kronos." Like, with a Q, I'm betting.
Probably.
Anyway,
I think
it's a good little scene.
He gets called to the chancellor's office, and they basically tell him that there's been a issue with the Klingon ship, and yeah. We're letting you know first, because Klingons.
There's also in my, I don't know if it's an actual blooper they left in because the rest of the scene's good, but Holly Hunter shares this really interesting pause when she says a critical failure, an awkward pause that's inorganic, a technical one, as if I like it. I think it might have been genuine. She just didn't know, her mouth didn't make the next word properly, but it comes across really well as she's trying to ensure he knows, oh no, it was a technical failure, but she says it really poorly, but that's really in character. So it's a nice little, no, technical failure. Well, they never classify, they say later on it crashes into a planet or a moon, but you can crash and not be destroyed. So we never get a sense of if the 8 houses die, or if they're just marooned and need to be saved. They're very. I wish there was more texture than they give, but if it was his house, if his family was on that ship, they didn't die because they were alive later. But it's they don't really commit to what level of damage. But it starts the backstory of the new Klingons. And it is not a happy sight with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Some interesting visuals of him kind of in a daze, I guess, walking through the halls. But now one of the most powerful races sits on the brink of extinction. Dun dun dun.
Big thing to do. I mean, they've done so much destruction. This JJ people, they've killed half the galaxy. They've done all. Boy, damn, New Trek can't help but destroying species. Because they matter, guys. They...
I just say I said goodbye to my family a long time ago. So a negative connotation there, of course.
16 months to be precise.
Oh yeah.
And first flashback. Kriosh Prime. I love the fact that the first thing you see is an out of focus bug. That is such unnecessary CGI detail that's literally out of focus, but it's like that cost them $6,000 to do that. Adds a bit of life. But yeah, it's very cheap's the wrong word. But it's so rustic that it feels like it went and shot a mile down the road in some nice costumes. And I just needed some tech, some Klingon tech, because they have literally a ship there. They have all this stuff. If they were just camping, like it would have been great if they said, yes, our third night of Jukbach, the camp of glory. Like, something said why they're here, because it just feels like they're just being nomadic with this warp cable spaceship with dilithium that they just got from the Klingon Empire. You know what I mean? They didn't quite structure this, I think, to be as successful as it could have been. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't notice the ship the first time either.
Yeah, me either.
Parked there. Like I thought it was a building of some sort that they were camping near. But then we find out later it is the ship, which is interesting because that kind of plays in later a little bit. But yeah, this is what reminded me specifically of Discovery. Just the outside and the filters that they were using. It's the orange filter. Yes, it's fall, I get it, but it still had that kind of piss quality, I guess. Just doesn't look great. So
well, it feels like
I think
any one of 10 Discovery planets that we saw verbatim,
Yeah. Let's see. Olivia gifted one Trekyards membership earlier, so thank you.
Thank you.
Sasaguru 2005 euros.
Thanks so much.
Did he say goodbye to his family? Because clearly they abandoned him on the planet. It's just, if your family abandons you, and you talk about it later, you could say, yeah, I've literally said goodbye to my family. In your internal dialogue, having dealt with this for how long.
Well, it's also like if your grandmother dies, you're not there to say goodbye. 10 years later, you might say, I said goodbye to her in my own way. It's just symbolic. It's just phraseology. Now, what do you think of the actual family unit? The people. I mean, the mum gets very little, dad gets quite a lot, and the brother gets a chunk. What do you think of the casting and the people and the vibe and such? So these are our first Klingons in hundreds of years.
The brother was great. I love that we have moments of them laughing and just being a family unit and talking about, we'll make you the warrior stew later, Jaden, when you get a chance to do your thing. And
no. They says you eat it now. You should eat some, and then later. So it's interesting that he chooses not to eat it in the future, even though because it's literally their dinner, right? They're not holding it back from them. It's just you're meant to earn
it. She says, Jaden, you will have your stew too one day, my son.
Oh.
He's got to kill first. That's part of having the stew. It's a warrior stew.
Well, that's why I assumed. But so I guess he has to make his own dinner then.
Probably.
Damn. I mean, there is a replicator.
There should be on the ship, yeah.
And, a couple of meters, a mile away.
Yeah. No, but I think the casting was good. I like the father. Sufficiently strict. And then, also having a good time with his family. Like I like that. We never really see that with Klingons. I love how Worf says Klingons don't laugh, but yes, they absolutely do. We see them laugh multiple times.
We never met
Um,
Klingons really before he met
I know.
Klingons, and then
It
by
was the most
Kern,
Klingon of Klingons, as we've talked about.
and then Kern's like, "Ah, yes, brother," you know, laughing and literally laugh. Yeah, I really like the guy's salt and pepper beard with mostly salt.
Hmm.
He was a really like bold, fun beard, and you can have bald Klingons. Had no complaints. They just need some level of personality in their hair, and that was a really interesting look. It has like a little inner
Mhm.
bit. No, he's a fun look. I did like their costumes. They weren't Klingon, but they weren't not Klingon.
They had Klingon elements.
Exactly.
Some of the texturing and
Yeah,
just the way the bandoliers like went. Yeah.
because then they're not going to wear the Klingon garb from TMP, TNG, Voyager now. Of course they're not. So you know what I mean? They were effectively clothes that Klingons could wear,
Yeah.
and also they're camping, they're not fighting. You know, but I think Dad was good. Mum underused. I think she had a couple of
Mhm.
lines. Brother was good, although a bit overbearing in his performance. But I think that was to counter Jaden's very
Yeah. No, I look.
performance. It was they've obviously grown up together, and they like I will be quiet, he'll be loud. That's their dynamic.
Yeah. I really like the brother. I think it played out really well. It's like, yeah, I told him I was taking you hunting, but that's not you, Jaden. Like
Hmm.
he understands his brother, he loves his brother.
Hmm.
I think that's portrayed very well, and it's a shame that his brother dies because everyone has to have a tragic backstory, don't you know? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it ties into the whole story, unfortunately. But yeah, his brother finds him a basically a Starfleet recruitment ball.
Mhm. Which
What's that song
implies
called?
that 16 months ago, that's when the Academy started being founded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least.
'Cause they sent these things out.
Hmm.
Yeah. A nice little moment between the two of them. Um,
You must
I
abandon
lo-
me.
yeah, I love that there's love there, and like I understand that you're not a Klingon, that you're a little different, but you know I still love you instead of the Klingon like, oh, you should be a warrior. Uh, so I appreciate that. I really do.
And there's a line, thanks for reminding me, that the dad says, where Jaden says, "Oh, I'm a healer or wannabe," and the dad says, "I'm sure you can find it about how healing is all good and stuff, but it won't keep you alive." That's such a salient
Mhm.
point. It's such a mature point because, of course, every Klingon knows they go to Klingon doctors, they go to Klingon engineers. Their aunt might be a Klingon scientist. Everyone knows a Klingon doctor because they all have to
Mhm.
go to the doctor. On every Klingon ship, there's Klingon doctors. We just don't ever see them, but there are. But it's also a super fair point. Just like, right, would not every single person in the United States Marines, even the medics, be trained how to shoot all their guns properly?
Yes, but
All, all,
it's an ongoing trope that a lot of medics in the military, like even in GI Joe, there was a medic that would not pick up a gun, would not cause any harm because their job is to literally not cause harm. But yes, they should be all
but
trained.
they wouldn't be able to get through basic training without proving they could do that to protect other people. So I kind of wish they'd lean into that more of course, Jaden needs to be a warrior first. That's their culture. And on top of that, be the healer. The fact that he ignores the warrior at all is what makes him weird
Well,
and unique because he's so
yeah,
anti it, which is him. That's fine. But I wish he'd done that for his dad because you need to protect yourself, the warrior, first. And
yeah.
then the stuff because
Well,
all Klingons would be. Yeah.
Hypno member makes a good point. A Klingon doctor battles death.
Hmm?
That's very true.
Although, since they also embrace death, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the dad because he's obviously quite balanced. He does want best for his son. The best for the son is being Klingon culture because that's who they are. But yeah, there they go. And then we get a really
And
sad dialogue with a weird shot of a random alien planet which doesn't look Chronosy, and then that's just stock footage they found on Etsy or whatever, you know?
and Thrib says, and then you have the Stranger Worlds doctor. Yeah. An assassin
Yes.
special forces.
Lovely. Yeah.
Exact opposite.
That's so salient. Why aren't people complaining he's literally a black war criminal? I mean, some people do, but not enough. Because if you can have one extreme, have the
Yeah.
other. But what's the dialogue here, Stuart? Because it's the big thing about the loss of the Kronos, the Klingon people, and all that stuff. Because it's pretty bad.
Let's see. So now one of the most, oh, the rest of the Klingon Empire became uninhabitable. Now one of the most powerful races sits on the brink of pause. Because Jaden's here. They paused the transmission. So sorry, blah, blah, blah. Platitudes. And then they talk about the Aaron Satie debate and what they should debate on.
Yeah, it's so interesting that they expressed that. Yeah, it's lots of Klingon worlds blew up. The Empire fell because when the burn happened, planets were being powered by dilithium. They went kablooey, either destroyed the planets or made them uninhabitable. And within one day, potentially most of the Klingon planets had catastrophes that were planet-ending. Damn.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Klingons are obviously not very precise with a lot of stuff, so I could buy them using warp engines to power their planets, even though it's not as safe. And that led to them that reliance on warp generation power through warp drive, whatever, which is free, easy energy. But yeah, they all their multiple planets got nuked, and to go down to just remnants in only 120 years, that means most of their planets went kablooey, and they lost trillions, not billions, trillions of lives, and all their shit.
They say everyone knows they lost Kronos because they blew it up themselves.
Which I felt
no one needs your embarrassing conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I couldn't buy that, but again, sad to hear Kronos is gone because we keep losing places. And what do you think of this new lass that popped her head up to offer the peace, the Indian lady? Because in 2 scenes.
I think nothing of her.
Oh, I thought she was good. I liked her acting. I thought it was very much like this is a pressing subject of the day. Let's talk about it. I was like, okay, good vibe. Wasn't to be mean. Wasn't to be specious. Just this is a really pressing topic, and the balls on Jaden to say we're going to do this. I mean, talk about head above the parapet. Let's because that's a twist. I thought we could either ignore it. We could do something else. Nope. Let's face it head on, showing he is brave because he's like, I'm going to take this punishment, this abuse, this whatever, as in emotionally. Let's do it. It's like, damn, that was bold play, sir.
And Thribbs says they shouldn't have those reactors on planets anyways. It's too much power and way too dangerous. Yeah. Remember Praxis? The Klingons aren't good with safety regulations, and so yeah.
But of course. But imagine if your governor said we can have 3 reactors to power the entire planet. We're like, oh, cool, done. Like it's the obvious solution, and they wouldn't think to have. It makes sense from that perspective. If you could build 1 nuclear reactor to power all of Earth, wouldn't you? Yes, probably. And then something go nails down or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, then they decide to do that as the debate. And yeah, he said all your points better be on point.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Truth's important. Because No, it's a good little scene. I was surprised by this turn, which I liked.
Yeah.
And then we get a very emotive Vance, but he's excited to tell her about once you get into the scene about the new.
Yeah.
Could help us relocate them. It'd be great things.
Yeah, a new home potentially. He's like, hey, you know how well that went over. And then he's like, maybe we should call in somebody. I don't know, like what was his name? Obel Wachak. Or Klingon. You guys have a history. And she's like, how would you know that? That was decades before you were born. Well, I've been reading your personal logs for the last 7 years, or your personal whatever. Because it's longer than War and Peace, and it's more twists and turns, and I love that.
And Thribbs counters, but a warp core reactor is supposed to be an insane amount of power. One would power multiple planets. Why do you think multiple planets? If you've got 50 billion people all living in electrified houses, all with replicators, and there are thousands of a million holodecks and shield generators and weapon installations, and no, of course it wouldn't power multiple planets. I mean, maybe you could build the most advanced one ever that could, but you would just buy or bring a one that's... No, of course it wouldn't be multiple planets. Do you know how many power a planet is with that many people doing tech things? Of course not. Yeah. And you would probably want one for 1 shield generator, let's be honest. So that might be just mandatory. And Starfleet just chose to disseminate that between non-warp reactors.
And Anton Smith says the lighting here, too many streaks. That's because it's golden hour. You can see the sun setting outside the window.
Next to the nebula.
Yes. Sure.
It's funny.
They're doing the same thing Discovery did, where there's sunlight outside the windows all the time.
But she's also in a weird room.
It's true.
I could see her having a hollow view, right? I could see that being a weird thing she would do. Question, quick answer. Was this episode well directed, not well directed, or less well than previous episodes?
Oh, it's by David Aronofsky, who directed it, who directed the last episode as well. And
Hmm.
I don't know. I think direction was fine, more or less.
Yeah, I think it was notably less well directed. I think a lot of those flares was overuse of some visual tricks to
Yeah.
kind of get a point. So this is unnecessary in the scene. It's fine, but it's not as well directed in my opinion, which is kudos to Kurtzman. The first two better directed in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see literally trees outside of her window. She's obviously got hollow stuff happening.
Yeah,
I mean, it's it's her own weird out of place office. But it's good to see Vance
but
there.
no. Yeah, and I like the conversation here. You do see a flicker, one or two flickers on the Vance hologram, and I'm like, still really that far in the future? They're having issues with holograms. It's fine,
They
just to
were
show that he is in fact not there.
were every episode, yeah. But it's funny, and they definitely allude to, I think, in quite a well done way, her messy past. That's a good little breadcrumbs, right? Little breadcrumbs. And the fact that, he's now head of or he might be head of the Empire because, well, head of the Remnant because everyone else is dead, but it's like, you've got such a chance here. Please don't mess it up because you know secrets about him. Yes.
Yeah, it's a good scene between the two of them, and
Mhm.
I like her reaction to him like studying her career essentially. And she's like, "Well, we'll do this meeting, but no one can know about it because if anyone finds out about it, he's going to lose all credibility with the houses. So it's got to be very low key."
But speaking of low key, we have got the 98 votes. That's great for the poll. What do you think of
Mhm.
this episode with A, B, C, D as options? And the winner is unfortunately the lowest rank of D, which might have meant Pill might have gone lower. So D ranking. But B, however, is 30%, which is very respectful. And A and C are joint at 14%. So overall, more people liked it than didn't like it. Because 30, 14, 14. But yes, interesting.
Mhm.
And in fact, technically more people liked A and B than D by mild percentage points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan K says maybe distance is still a factor. That's why it flickers. Oh, absolutely. But I'm just like,
You'd hope
you don't
so.
have to flicker everything to show that it's a hologram. Just have it slightly see through. Anyway, Classic for Real throws in $2 and says Genesis does what can Sam do? And Sam. Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Speaking of, there is 63 of you here and 37 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get those likes up if we can. That'd be amazing. And thank you guys for watching and tuning in. And be sure to PayPal or super chat in with your thoughts, comments, questions, all the concerns, everything.
Last day of the month, put them in, guys. I'm going to just move my laundry around for 1 second.
Laundry. Um, hold on 1 second here, guys. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, hit the like button and let us know your thoughts, comments, questions. I'm going to check PayPal now, see if anybody else has PayPal'd in. You've had a few this live, which is awesome. So let's check that. And no more PayPal's right currently, but PayPal's aren't limited to the number of characters you can put in. So if you want to PayPal in a comment that's longer, you can do so. We do read them all. So if you can, please do. We appreciate it. All right. Yeah. So we have the next scene where they're talking about basically helping out Jaden. He doesn't need to be on stage battling his friends. Why would he choose to do that? And then they meet up with him and they're like, "Hey, I'll partner up with you. I'll ask the doctor if it's okay. It should be fine. Special circumstances and all." And Jaden's like, "Why would I need assistance from you?" And we get the whole Jaden is the master debater. Had to make that joke. But yeah, this is it's nice seeing the interactions between, well, anything with Genesis. Let's be fair. We need a Genesis centric episode. Um, Thib says technically tomorrow is the last day of the month. Absolutely, but we're not doing a live tomorrow now, are we? So
I don't know. Can you still see us? I see no drop frames on my end. Or... Let us know, guys. Or not if you're not there.
I just see a spinning circle for the preview.
Okay.
So.
Let us know, guys. Are we live still? Nothing wrong with my OBS, it says. Let's look on the public.
So connect your encoder to start preview again.
Let's look
There
at
we
the
go.
public.
Spinning. There we go. Now we're back.
Let us know. Yeah,
Classic for real, $2.
Oh.
Genesis does her own episodes. Epidon'ts. Okay. Sure. Wow.
Yeah. I was kind of pleased in a weird way how little the side characters were in them. These episodes, they're little bits here and there, but they're not throwing them in for the sake of it. So she's not really in it.
Yes, well.
It's not her episode, right? Little bits here and there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is interesting because he's like, why would I need or want your help? He gets kind of offended. And even though like Caleb's been a friend to him and like quote unquote kind of a brother, I love how he's like, "You're not my brother" a few times in this episode. And at the end, he's like, "Yeah, you're very much like my brother." So yeah.
I wish they'd waited 2 more episodes to make that reference because they haven't done enough together to suddenly go to brothers. It makes sense, but I don't think they've done enough at this
Yeah,
point.
we haven't seen enough anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been a few weeks max. But I do like the scene that, yes, I didn't get the... Even though I think it's trying to imply this, I don't think Jaden,
Jaden.
yes.
Jaden.
And it's his brother who says Jaden, one word,
Yeah.
at the start. And if his brother says Jaden, his name's probably Jaden. But that's the actor, Mr. Alright. I don't think he was trying to be a dick about this. I think he was actually meaning... This is my battle. Like I felt like it was very clean cut. Like, no, I'm gonna fight the Klingon side. I'm the Klingon. I believe in it. Like, I don't think he's doing it out of weird guilt pangs or weird reverse psychology. He's just like, no, I'll do it myself. And you know what I mean? Was that track, or was it kind of he felt guilty or whatever? What do you think?
It was a whole pride thing, like Klingon pride type deal, I think. So yeah, it's like he'll do it himself. He doesn't need any help from anybody.
But it wasn't more layers. He's just like, well, no, I'm gonna do it myself. As in, because pride, but that's a Klingon static. That's a standard trope, right? There's no extra guilt. Anyway, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. It was straightforward.
Yeah, and then we get a flashback scene where his brother was essentially stabbed by a traitor for trying to get a Federation dermal regenerator and poisoned as well. But you should see the other guy type deal.
I mean, talk about staring death bravely with a grin.
Yeah, and there's ships right nearby.
Yep.
Maybe like you can, I don't know if they have transporters you can instantly transport like everybody else does, but probably. Go to your ship, get one of your Klingon dermal regenerators, because you guys have them too.
You've had them for 600 to 800 years. They're absolutely basic tech. It's literally like a plaster.
Maybe try to save your son, because sure, death's honorable and all that jazz, but so's living to fight another day. I mean, the poison, I wish they would have focused more on that. Like, we can't save him because of the poison. It's mentioned as poison. Big deal. Like, put in a neutralizer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and also, it's unlikely that a trader who's not said to be Klingon, just a trader, right? So let's whatever. I don't think they'd have kill you poison in their dagger. It'd be more like a stun you poison. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of a broad thing.
Plus, it's very, very an honorable death as well. To just be stabbed by somebody you were making a deal with.
Yeah. But I could see it being the poison was one that shuts off your nervous system, but the stab wound where it was fatal, and them combined did it. But yeah, they do not make clear the poison's going to kill him. So my personal opinion, they let him die. We didn't have to. That's how the scene plays to me. Not even judging them. Just I think they chose to let him die because it's more honorable, and they made a choice not to save him. But this guy must be, 25, 21, all that work to bring him into the world. The Triad family is down to no warriors, and it's like he didn't even try. It's mildly upsetting because it yeah. And all they had to do was let Dad 2 or Uncle 1 or Protector
Yes.
Bob say, "The wound cannot be healed by that Jaden."
Yeah.
The fact they don't means it could have been. At least conceptually.
Classic Friel throws in $2. Genesis does. Hollow Sam also does what Nintendo don't. Perfect.
Just what I was thinking, Stuart. How do you know?
And at Colonel Chris, Colonel Chris, sorry, throws in $5.
Thank you.
Actually feels like we know a lot about the characters and their motivations in this series. Only 4 episodes in compared to the rest of New Trek. Well,
Yes.
I wouldn't say the rest of New Trek. Discovery, for sure.
Well. Yeah.
And Picard seasons 1 and 2. Prodigy, we got to know the characters right away. Same with Lower Decks.
Well, when it's complicated. They were younger with less experiences, right? Yeah. And Stranger Worlds obviously piggybacked till we knew half of them technically, so didn't have to put the work in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his brother dies. Sad.
They do the yell. Good stuff. The second dad, whoever, does not speak. Whatever.
Nope.
And then we get, I would love to have seen a sneaky exterior shot of a sneaky bird of prey coming in, but like a predator, we see it's cloaked, but because they had to warp into Federation space sneakily, and then, I would love to have seen what he warped in on. Because he blunders in so like, hi. He had to come a long way and be stealthy to not get detected. Because it's a secret meeting, right?
Classic Real gifts 1 Trekyards membership, so welcome Galaxy Dreams to the channel.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Yes. So this scene is really great, actually. Obel Washak comes in, and we find out that these two have had quite an interesting time together, history together. And yeah, it's her acting in this is so cute. It's just they have such a chemistry, and we don't even know this guy. Like, it instantly just plays very well. So kudos for that. But yeah, she gets right into it as well and talks about the planets, and
but she offers pleasantries or
yes. Oh yeah. Should we catch up the proper way, or just he's like, well, that would take too long, and there would be complications. Yeah.
It's a quite intelligently written scene for what is ostensibly a 400-year-old head of the Academy and the head of the Klingon remnant. And I feel like in the second scene of this, when throws the thing, I think the way they phrase the dialogue is that he chose to not make them a couple like 70 years ago when he was young because it wouldn't have worked out.
He said it wouldn't have worked out, and she took off, which he kind of resented that she'd left, but
so we could actually have a relationship. It was that level, which I thought was really interesting. And I felt like that was like 70 years ago when he was literally a different man. And now they're seeing each other for the first time, potentially the first time in such a long time. It's like this, like an old ex, but it's been so long to not need to bring that up in the way. It was very interestingly played, because how do you direct that, This level of internal knowledge that they just can't even fathom, right? And you can tell she genuinely liked him. The energy was really nice there. And you just don't need dickish Klingons. Like, he had a good, strong vibe without being, I can see why they voted him in, or why they let him stab past leader and then take his place and not try and stab him back, Klingon Santa.
Marvin R, says Klingon Santa. I said the same thing last night when I was watching it with Sylvia. I'm like, he looks like Klingon Santa. Just put a red suit on him. That would be awesome.
I mean, is it an elephant in the room or not? He's a white Klingon. They didn't do any sort of darkened face makeup as they did for Gowron and Martok and most Klingons. So he's kind of an albino Klingon, very light skin. Honestly, that adds a new cosplay opportunity for white people to play Klingons. You just put the makeup on and the hair. Because he's a very, very light skinned Klingon. Cool.
Yeah.
Just surprised me, especially in the later scene when Jaden's very dark and he is very not dark. Big contrast. It's like, cool, okay, white people can be Klingons too. Cool.
Yeah.
And he does suit the grey really well.
Ray Ricks, though,
Oh,
£5. No honor, brother. Totally going to Thor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he did probably kill the traitor though. So I guess that's some
Uh,
honor in that. Self-defense honor.
Classic for real, $2. So how do we feel about Academy as a look into 32nd century?
Better than Discovery so far.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
the universe is healing.
Jeff Jacobs
Ooh.
throws in $5. Yes, we made 50. Hashtag made Jeff pay.
Yes.
Thanks to all that have super chatted and PayPal and liked this episode. Just thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you to all you as well. And Sussy Guru 2000 throws in €5. His forehead skin definitely looks more realistic than Jaden's. Is that what
It
you
is
mean?
pretty, but it's got more texture. I think it's because he's older.
They made him look so much older, but you look at the actor, he's not that old.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like they did a really good job casting that,
Yeah.
I think, because
Yeah, because that is very good. And it's even, we can still see the lines, but by putting prosthetic scars on him, it all blends really well.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting, I always love canon points, because if he's over a century, as they say, and he can still be functionally this not old feeling, then Klingons can be 100 and, you know, so Michael Dorn Worf, etc. If you want to give Michael Dorn Worf a show and have it be another 30 years post, he probably could do it. These sort of canon points are important because he impressed me. But also, he also says no straight away to the plan. He's like, nope.
yeah.
It's
He
very.
also says no word games. We haven't been drinking enough yet.
Yeah, it's like, nope, plan won't work. Now let's hang out. So very, straightforward about it.
Yeah. Again, just saying, accepting the charity of the Federation is not something that we will accept. I mean, no shit. Right? Yeah. Just trying to see if there's anything else in this conversation that's worth. Nope, because it cuts to the next scene. There's more about them later, obviously, but yes, the next scene is Jaden practicing his speech, and Caleb comes in and says maybe it's better to memorize. I mean, it's more work, but it actually works out in your favor.
No shit.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play it like a douchebag. It's a douche thing to say, but not play it as a douchebag.
Yeah. He says we both grew up with nothing. We're neither of us has anywhere else to go. Just showing the similarities between the two, which Jaden is kind of opposed to at this point. So yeah, we have kind of a fraternity thing going on between two of us, don't we? We do not. It's like, okay. Well,
Yeah, he said the loud part or the quiet part out loud. It's like, we are like brothers, aren't we? Shut up. Oh.
yeah.
Damn. I think it's one of those scenes that kind of slows it down a bit. You're like, yeah, it's not, it's not, it's fine, but I mean, his acting's great. Shut up and go away. But it's like, yeah, not quite as engaging as other scenes.
And Gillsville says, is Jaden wearing lifts? Those some mighty big shoes. Yeah, all the boots are grossly oversized, especially on Genesis. I noticed that in the first episode. I just hate the boots, the clunky boots with the skirt that they have. Not a good look. But
yeah, unfortunately, without just doing shoes, you can't really make actors much bigger, and there's some real high differences in the show.
Yeah. But cutting back to Obel and Aki, they are both drinking and laughing and throwing their cups into the fireplace, and you can see the dents in the back of the fireplace.
Oh, there they are. Yep.
Yeah, there was some present, and then he threw it, and they created another one. So they must have done a few takes of this.
I mean, well done him for hitting the almost exact same spot as the previous take, because those are a close formation.
Yeah. But you could argue that she said a few Klingon drinking nights where she's tossing cups in there herself. So maybe they were just there before. So
this was slightly amusing that he's over a foot taller than her.
Oh, he's like 3 feet taller than her, dude.
Yeah, well, he's got lifts. It's a really funny, like, they really are stretching, like, how they can film with her. It's always, all right, over the shoulder is, oh dear. It's kind of amusing because they just been a really small actress.
Yeah, well, this is where they're talking about the cops showed up, and when I woke up, you weren't there. And she's like, "Well, you made it clear that
Mm.
we wouldn't work." And
Mm.
then they kind of end it with, "You always insisted on having a fight." He's like, "The fight is where I live," and then he transports out.
Which is a nice foreshadow. But what a weird
Yeah,
thing to
yeah,
say to a
yeah.
Klingon. It's like, yes.
Hmm.
Sorry, well, you always don't age. Yes. Right? Say the obvious much.
Yeah,
And guys, keep voting the poll. 68 votes.
yeah.
I'll swap it to 70. Keep voting.
And
Oh,
Devo77 says I looked it up. Holly Hunter is 5'2". Yeah, I looked up like within the first 10 minutes
yeah.
of like the first episode because she is tiny.
And she feels smaller than that as well. For whatever reason.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you put with 6'3" people, she
yeah.
feels smaller.
And people complain how she sits in the chair when it's like a love seat or a couch to her because it's so goddamn huge.
Which is funny
Anyway,
because in theory it would have been picked for her, so it should have been smaller.
yeah.
Yeah.
But other people are gonna have to sit in it too at some point, probably. So Susiguro 2000,
Mm.
€5. Genesis a lot is not. Is planet forbidden? Oh yeah, we're gonna hear that a lot over the next forever.
Forever. At conventions, like, hello, Genesis, and they'll do the line, and she's like,
Genesis?
yes. But I'll say it again. I appreciate these characters almost for the most part, not quite, but aren't being obnoxious. The names are
Yeah.
silly. The trailer showed them all as like, oh no, but boy, they're not. I mean, she's not in it really, but her little bits are good. So we're four in, and none of them annoy me.
Yeah.
So that's an achievement because the trailer was not good for that. So, you know, yes.
Well, yeah, this next scene's interesting because the recruitment ball was broken, and we find out how it's broken in the flashback that we're going to get in just a second. So this is the one that was broken that he clearly doesn't know how to fix because he's like just sticking parts together and he doesn't have any technical know-how. So if this was the ball to contact Starfleet,
Hmm.
how did he contact Starfleet? I mean, he probably just knew that Starfleet was recruiting, so he went out to look for them, but still. You would assume there's some kind of tracking or like button to press to have somebody come and get you or
Yeah,
whatever.
he couldn't take the easy way out. Because the way
Yeah.
they play the latest flashback is that he's really searching for pieces. So I assume A, he didn't find all the pieces. B, it falls apart like it's a prop. It's not shattered. It's popped apart. Because you can't, if you shatter a glass, a cup, you have to have glue to force the piece back together. But it won't fall apart in layers of glass you just stack. It's not Lego, right?
Oh, if a radio falls on the ground, like a little portable radio, it'll be the same thing. You just have pieces.
The antenna might shatter. The casing might bend. Thing.
Antenna wouldn't shatter, it's metal.
I mean,
Casing might
I mean,
bend, it might
break.
crack.
Yeah. Well, certainly the grill will be bent, and there's things it could
Not
destroy.
necessarily, it depends on the fall.
Oh yeah, it depends on the fall. It's very much like prop put apart, and I guess he just put in a rucksack and moved it across the galaxy because they did always set up his planet had a trader, so there was obviously traders have ships. He bartered his way off
Or a
planet.
small town, like a trading
Yeah,
post or
yeah,
something.
well, exactly. So it's not ridiculous, but this scene is odd, as we expressed in our other review, because Bully Boy comes in. Nope, not there yet. Yes,
Not
there?
yet.
Not there. Okay, not there. He's
We get a
fixing. He's
flashback
flashing.
to him with his dad.
Yeah.
And he's going to basically give him the bow because today's the day he's going to get his first kill. And he makes a point of saying as well, um, this has no place in our in our family. It has no place in our house. You are Klingon, so it's showing his kind of isolationism.
Human tech be damned.
Yeah, Starfleet has not bled for you. Blah blah blah.
Which is fair.
Um,
That one's fair.
yeah. Then we hear the cry of the Vakloch, a bird of prey, which I appreciated because their ships are bird of prey. So this is something that ties that together very nicely for all the people that believe that bird of prey is in fact a Klingon ship.
And thankfully not
Um,
the bird of prey, a bird of prey. Because
yes, yes.
this is just some random planet, right? So it's just a bird styling they know about that's Klingon-esque. Because this
Yeah.
isn't a Klingon world, this wouldn't be a Klingon bird. So yeah, subtle
Yeah.
distinction, but yeah, okay, bird of prey.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he does say, honor your brother, make the kill. And he gets the flashback to his brother kind of, understanding him. And he's like, pulls the bow down and says, "I am honoring my brother," because his brother wouldn't have wanted him to do something that was against his nature, something that's you know. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But it is interesting that he, you could easily argue he could kill a bird and then go get it and eat it, and be food for his family. So is he also saying he'll never hunt for food? So if he had to, he would starve to death instead of killing an animal for food. I don't
Yeah,
know.
some people are like that,
Some people like that and they starve and die, and then you don't hear about them again.
or they eat plants.
Sure, Klingons though, you know, don't know if they could do just plants at least like that. But yeah, it's interesting because you could easily take from the previous scenes that it is Jaden's responsibility his brother died. It was for him in an exchange about him, his need for tech. But the fact that Dad has moved past that, my other son, my older son is dead, but I will still fully embrace you and say, do the right, be the warrior, be the family. I like the fact there was no screw you about it. It was purely, this is now your time, take that mantle. It wasn't, I liked that he, understood him enough to do that. And they gave him the shot, literally and figuratively. And he says, obviously, no. And this version of the scene, he yells and disowns him in one fell swoop.
Yeah, he misses the birds. He's very angry. He storms off. He basically throws the recruitment ball, which breaks, and then we see it shattered on the ground. So yeah, perception based flashback, I
Well,
guess.
he never spoke to him again, so fair enough. I will admit, it did occur to me the first time, Klingons would surely be
More focused, angry.
so used to anger in fighting that he would miss for a different reason than anger. So I was already not quite believing it, but obviously the way they play it is something different, although ambiguous, of course. But I was like, you wouldn't miss it because he was angry. That's not really.
That's the other thing too. Later, when Laura thought, what her name was her name? Laura Thought, yeah, talks to him. It's all speculation on her part. She doesn't have proof that that was in fact what happened. As far as most Klingons go, yes, for sure. But that's something that bothers me later. It's like, okay, that's her theory. We do see like the flashback where he's like looking back, like, yeah, it's my son, whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the confirmation, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah,
Jaden
don't
doesn't
take
know.
it as canon.
She doesn't know. Yeah, exactly. He needs to have a conversation with his dad. So
now this, Hyperion, I'm sorry, says he loves birds. I think it's more he didn't want to kill it because it was against his nature.
oh yeah,
But
his mother said the night bird. Yeah.
Yeah, see that I would have been more logical.
Yeah.
He'd been specific, which in the first scene, don't forget binoculars because birds. That makes more sense. I wish that was in the scene. But Jane doesn't say much in the past, and I wish he had more agency because he's very passive in the scenes. He's very. If these were his only scenes and his acting was bad, but because he's so repressed for his family, you need the contrast, right? He's only himself after that, but he's very. But yeah, we see the drama, and then a very musical, rather it's a very flamboyant door chime.
Oh yeah.
Boy, the neon! My God, bloody hell! Look at that.
But then yeah, Raimi shows up.
I love the start of this scene. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Caleb's stomping around our room. Hit me. I'm Caleb. You want to punch me? You want to punch me? Caleb wants to punch himself too.
It's in his nature. And that makes so much sense to me. He doesn't like his life in a lot of ways. He would punch himself if he felt like he had to. That's such an... I like that. I don't quite get why he wanted to punch him in the first place, as in the start of the scene. I think it's to get the blood pumping of a Klingon warrior's heart. They get structure through violence, unfortunately. That's why when they're when they're in bars, they headbutt because they can, and it's adrenaline and so it's like punch me so you'll be more Klingon because he understands Klingons. He's probably met a few. His dad was rich or something.
Oh, he's got the same kind of background from what we've heard of the Kionians. They're very battle oriented as well. But yeah, and Jaden stands up and says, "We like squashing a bug. I'm not going to hit you." He's like, "That feel good. It felt good, didn't it?"
Did that feel good?
He teaches them about young fighters and the battle breathing.
Now, is that meant to be Klingon? He know that from Klingon culture or his own culture? Because they're very Klingon-y words.
His own. He says it.
Okay.
Yeah. what they teach Kyonian
My issue with the scene is that he was
fighters.
extremely close.
Yeah, I was like, the whole time watching this first time, I was like, hope they had breath mints, because damn.
Yes, and I've done enough directing and acting at directing actors to know the small stuff matters. So you can grab someone's hands, arms, and make him do this, but he does this to his hand and moves it in a very intimate, touchy, seductive way. It's incredibly intentional, and there's so much sexual tension that, I mean, the blue guy's portraying, and the Klingons like, what? It's very one-sided until he's like, I see your eyes, and it's, you can almost feel the bone energy in the room, which is odd. Not that it's bad, it's out of nowhere, but
Yeah, exactly.
if this guy's Captain Jack Harness, he'll bang anything. He's the bang anything guy. That's fine. But I like the fact that Klingon says no. That was a nice twist. I thought it was a very intense scene. It could have gone kissing, could have gone whatever. I was like, nope. Go away. Done with you. So I kind of like the ending.
Yeah. Sesagura 2005 euros.
Thanks so much.
Always thought that the doors only open if the occupant says something equivalent to come in. Shouldn't have opened when the response was go away. You're not wrong.
I think that rule's broken everything if it needs to.
Yes.
But yes.
That's script specific, like shields not working or transporters being able to beam through shields.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's a thing. It's fine.
Yeah, normally in TNG they'd have Worf override it with, a code, but obviously that's not relevant here.
And classic for real throws in $2. Tick thock. Yes, tick thock.
But it's an okay scene. I like the blue guy in it. It's just a weird scene. But out of nowhere. And then we get debate. For like a debate convention, the way they clap the Doctrine despite him like being the everyday professor, I was like, the celebrity! It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. You just saw this morning for a lecture about xenobiology, but okay, cool.
Yeah. Then we did. I think things might have went badly with Obel. It's like, yep, absolutely. Are you hungover? Nope. Still drunk, probably.
That was my question. Do you think she's hungover, won't admit it, or still drunk and won't admit it?
Still drunk and won't admit it, because she does do the typical drunk. Yep.
Yeah, I thought she was still drunk, and I was all for that. Because that means everything's happening quite close together, which I'm absolutely in favor of. Yeah, I think she's still drunk, and that amuses me. That amuses me if she's actually still drunk.
And classic for real. No, I did not forget the super chat above. I already read it. The tick thock.
I didn't know what it was, and I moved on. I think at this point, though, I think at this point in the episode, I was slightly feeling set fatigue.
Yes, me too.
Because it is the same set again, in the same format again.
Same set from episode 2 as well.
After the same sets in the flashback, which all looked and felt the same. A little bit done with the set. It's fine per episode, but I'm like, we're doing this exact thing a little bit too much, in my opinion.
It's their most expensive set. They got to show it off, don't you know? I think it's better when there's people milling around and it's just the central hub. Where are all the classrooms? We see 1 or 2 classrooms which are directly off of this.
Yeah.
Those
are the classrooms.
They need another set or two. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're really overusing this one.
Yeah, I think they built it in on purpose to use it as the bleachers are also the set.
And we saw it the entire episode, pretty much, of the last episode with the laser tag.
Yes.
It's getting a little bit. And
we saw this exact framing when they had the negotiations, because it was basically debate, which was novel then. It's like, and it's not bad. It's just you've done it enough, guys. At least in the way they've structured it. I don't know. I don't know. And because the sets you can, and this makes sense, but you can tell they film this identically in the same time as when the Klingon trap comes back, right? I wish they'd moved who's in the audience, because it's meant to be, let's say, half an hour later, and yet everyone's exactly where they were in the same vibe, but he's gone, they've had other rounds to come back. They clearly just continue filming it. I wish it said, right, everyone move as if they had a recess or something. It's a very small note, but it just makes it feel even more repetitive if it's just they filmed it 2 minutes later, because they did. Small thing.
Reed Sheffield is not the Centennial College campus. It does look familiar or similar, yes, but they didn't film on the campus. This is a set that they built. They're very proud of it. The biggest set in North America, or however the fuck they worded it. It's big, don't you know?
It's a record-breaking set because it's multitasking.
Yeah. We can kind of skip over most of this because it's just arguments about the thing. And then it comes to a head with Caleb and him doing personal attacks on each other, essentially, that Klingons must exist as Klingons. And Caleb's like Klingons must exist. There's a Klingon here who's rejected the isolationism of Klingons and is living under the protection of Starfleet, getting Starfleet food. And
Turns
I
his
love
back
that
on his
argument.
family,
Yeah,
as he
yeah.
says.
And then they go face to face, and the Doctor ends it because they were going to come to blows. Very well acted, very well done, I think, on both parts.
And the iterative annoyance the Doctor works really well as well. Because it goes against the point of the thing. But I will say, obviously, as we said in our other review, Sam just mispronounced Kittimer, and it was I didn't know what she was saying until after the sentence. I'm like, oh, you mean Kittimer?
Yeah, Kaitamar or whatever. It's like, what? It's Kittimer, for Christ's sakes.
And that's what we mean about if they can't get Kronos. These are very, very easy things to research. Seconds, in fact. But Indian Lady's back. That's 2 this episode. I don't remember what she said, but it was good. I liked her spiel.
About who? Sorry?
Indian Lady. She's twice in the episode, but I liked whatever she said in her debatey thing, whatever it was. I found it a bit odd they deliberately put their best debater against their worst debater, knowing he could barely speak. That felt a bit disingenuous. I don't see that being realistic. It's just, you're setting everyone up for failure there. I wish he'd had more than one round and they'd brought him in as like a special thing, but that's just the amount of time. And who are you siding with in the old this argument? Because Caleb has salient points, as does Mr. Klingon chap.
Do. I don't have a side. They both have really good points. So, but I would say yes. Take the help of the Federation, but still keep your Klingonness, like both sides.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. We'd rather die than take a free planet. But like with Worf, right? This guy is not a well-adjusted Klingon, which is helpful in this regard. But there's lots of Klingons out there who would absolutely say it's honourable to not commit suicide for the sake of nothing. That's why culturally it's interesting to, his perspective here, etc.
Classic for real throws in $2 and says Genesis does what Sing can't. Oh my god. Let's stop with the Genesis ones. Classic.
Yes, classic. Caleb versus the non-master debater. Yes. 78 votes in the poll. And it's not moved since we started. Which episode do you think was better? 64% episode 3 and 64%, 65% this episode 4, and 35% last episode. I'm surprised. I thought it'd be more unanimous. Interesting.
Yes, and then we get the conversation between half Jemadar, half Klingon, talking to a Klingon. I love she picks up the jacket, like, wipes her hand off. Filthy children.
I mean, yes.
But yeah, this is the whole conversation about your dad. Klingons. I don't know much, but I know Klingons wouldn't miss because of anger. If anything, it would make them more laser focused, essentially. That the kill's better when you got the anger. So he did it on purpose, so that he could let you go and release you. He did the most fatherly thing he could to let you be yourself. Which I agree and disagree with at the same time. And like I said earlier, it is just her speculation as to that was his intent. She doesn't know that for sure. She just knows what Klingons are like. So I guess she does sort of know it. But yeah, it's a good conversation between the two of them. And I think the fact she even says, I've never had the opportunity to mentor another Klingon. So I'm kind of glad you're here and I can help you. Was great. So yeah.
Yeah, this scene worked for me in a few ways. One, she was lower go-getter girl, so her acting was... She's still my favorite character. She's nailing the vibe of whatever this combined species is. I like the look of it. She's still able to give a lot of that crisp personality to the dialogue. The dialogue is not innately giving. She's doing a Jem'Hadar, but with a bit of a Klingon. It's really, really effective. But I love the fact that she gives more backstory of herself from the free Jem'Hadar, nice, and Klingon mother. So now we know exactly that. Good bit of texture. But that she calls herself a Klingon. I like the fact that she's 100% certain that she is a Klingon, even though she visually is a Jem'Hadar. Right? You would not tell she was a Klingon from that, really. That's Jem'Hadar mostly. But the fact that she's embraced both sides fully, if she talked to a Jem'Hadar, she'd probably say the same thing, I'm a Jem'Hadar. I love that she's not in contrast. She is both fully. Because he could easily say, you don't know the warrior of a Klingon, you never grew up with them. And that's a fair statement, because she is not acting like a Klingon in general. But they both accept each other fully. I thought was really nice, because that implies the development of the species that they were more expecting, these multi-branching paths of genetics, etc. I thought it was really well... It's all subtext, but it's just... For the scene, I enjoyed that element. And she's just great. And yes, totally speculative. Yes, we get the dad's face, but that's no one's memory, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's ambiguous. I could see it come back either way. Because even if the dad did leave him out of screw you, he's probably going to respect that he started the next Great War of the Federation and got on the planet. I can see that easily as being, oh, I did abandon you. Yes, you suck. But now you're great. And that also working, right? It works both ways really well. Yeah. So happy with that scene. Happy with that.
Yeah.
I just didn't need as many shots of the bird with the fake CGI arrow go over. Like 5 times. It's a really poor...
Yeah, and... I tried catching it each time. Forgot. I didn't do frame by frame.
I mean, you got it, Stuart. You got it. I'm on it right now.
Oh, I did get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I missed it for everyone.
But it is such a stock footage shot. They've made.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
It's the same. They've obviously got 5 seconds of footage. They added a CGI thing to it. It's just amusingly not effective as a moment, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets the logo out, which is his brother's, which I did catch second time. He wore it the whole time.
Yep.
Caught that. And he wears it, and I guess they're still debating because it feels like it's been a few hours, but it wouldn't have been. So it's able to come back in. But I'm very thankful because he says, going back to the debate stage, I'm thankful that Jaden is off to the side. He's not also on this podium. So
not Jaden. Caleb.
Thank you. Very similar in names, sort of. Yeah. So I appreciate that they didn't just reset to where we were. It's a very small point, but I'd have been annoyed if he'd back on the stage with him. It's like, no, he's also done, right? Cleon gets to have a speech. They give him a speech. Cool. You know?
Yeah.
It worked for me.
But yeah, he goes on to say, I am both Starfleet and Klingon. Both exist within me, blah, blah, blah. But we got to solve a Klingon problem in a Klingon way, which I appreciated, which is, how do you deal with Klingons? Bring in a Klingon. Sounds very like DS9 season 4, bringing in Worf.
Or B'Elanna with Legacy, or whatever it's called in season 7 of Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
And Thrib says she's a Klinghadar.
Klinghadar, yeah. Yeah, this is where my father made us memorize the story of Kalash, who gave us our laws of honor and our home of Quanash.
And it's funny because they say Molor correct. It's not Molor. Like, why are you saying 2 out of the 3 words wrong of the story? It just really pulls me out of it because it's just Discovery. It's dripping of Discovery nonsense again. And the thing is, he hasn't even got the teeth to justify it. You can't talk, Frotfrush. He's having to add a shush. Kilish. So he's having to do it himself.
Yeah.
But it's a logical, salient thing. They talk with, because the first time I took it more literally, God just fight him because that's what Klingons do. But second time around I read it much more as they talk with fighting. The language of, it's not about battle. Battle is the conduit for other things. We battle to have sex, we battle to drink, we battle to, it's a conduit of expression. So we need to battle to negotiate. Even if it's not because obviously the general, the head of the Klingon Empire, knows exactly what's happening, so he's willingly, dishonorably fighting in a fake battle, but it's technically a real battle, and the game is being played right there, so it's effective.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then we get the reveal that the Athenic and saucer separate,
Out of nowhere,
more or less.
just
Yeah.
no special shot, except it's a really cool special shot. Looks great. Watch a video on it tomorrow. You'll enjoy it.
And I also love the whole welcome to the bridge, cadet, because they wouldn't have got tours of the bridge. I mean, it's not in their wheelhouse to be there. So
nope, they've not earned it. That's very fair to say.
Yeah. Classic for real, $5. There's one thing I really don't like about Academy. That is, I'm going to use up all my money super chatting Genesis does jokes and 10 don't like them. I mean, you can, but I'd rather you didn't. Say more, intelligent.
So have you met Classic for real? Sorry.
No, I actually have not.
Wow.
I'm aware of his existence, but I have not met him.
The legend continues to grow, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I really like this. This was not what I thought the show was going to do, because the show does not treat these sort of things with respect. So I assumed she would say, "Come on, Jaden, onto the bridge, walk on, sit on." I'm obviously now joking. Sit in the chair. It's really comfortable, and just make a mockery out of it. But it's so correctly handled. You are allowed to be here during a historic moment. It's your idea, and he's respectful, and she's respectful, and everyone's. It's kind of, and then honestly, the next 10 minutes is just TNG, right? In tone and structure, it's just a good TNG scene with a bit more of a neon lighting.
Yeah, the thing that annoyed me though was Vance says, "May the Klingon gods help us." I expected somebody to say the Klingons killed all their gods, because they did.
It's true. Yeah, they have no gods.
Oh. But Sessy Guru 2000 throws in €10. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'm torn on the Klingons accepting that fate battle at the end. On the other hand, for high-ranking Klingons like Gowron, honor was usually performative.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think
It's an elegant solution to the problem. They need a homeworld, and if they don't want to accept charity, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a very eloquent solution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they are doing really bad. They just potentially, well, they at least one of their big ships with 8 houses on, and they said the remaining 8 houses crashed, and they probably lost a few hundred people minimum. So they've just had a huge loss. They're not doing great, and this planet's perfect, and he knows it's perfect, and he knows it's work. It's a good job.
And Ryan K says, "I know it doesn't count, but I said that about their gods when I watched it." Yeah, exactly. But yeah, then Vance basically goes on the horn and says, "Klingon ships have taken refuge in this sector, and they have trespassed in Federation space and have threatened the security of our planet."
Oh, yeah. Our planet. Ours.
Yeah. We have no choice to declare any Klingon vessel an enemy vessel. And then it's like the spark, like, "I see. Do you dare declare war on all Klingon houses?" And all there's no official from Vance, like, "Yes, we do." It's just her saying, "Fight with me, Obo." Like, it's the two of them kind of doing their thing, right? So,
a couple of small notes there. His bridge is passable. You can always see the Star Trek 6 consoles in the back.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, but it still feels like Strange New Worlds vibe.
I'm fine with being Burrell styling, but there's no extras. He's on an LED wall, and there's just nothing happening. I wish there was some extras, because it's his flagship. I wish they had a closer to the ship, because obviously interesting would be flagship. And this confused me, because Vance has found this planet. It's almost identical to Kronos. Cool. The Klingon refugees happen to be already in Federation space in the same sector as the Golden Planet. That can't be a coincidence. They must have already discovered it, because the chance of that is 0. The same sector. That's only a few light years. They get in seconds, so I guess they were debating going there anyway. right? It's just odd because they wouldn't be there. I mean, not that I want to travel from 10,000 light years away in 4 seconds, but it's like, why are you already in Federation space there? Okay.
I think there was a line earlier where somebody said some remnants of them are in the same sector. So
It's very strange.
yeah,
But I love there's only 6 ships and one's a bloody Academy saucer section. That is a very small fleet. It's so much better than copy and paste fleet. I mean,
yeah. Let's
this
see.
feels like they've learned because they're all different. They're all
Yeah.
fresh looking, and that's the good amount of ships. That's a good fleet. It's good.
So the USS Capricorn, the USS Crimson, the USS Horizon, the USS Lexington, and the USS Riker.
And apparently the Horizon is the Eisenberg. So there you go. I've got a legacy future ship.
Thribs, no, that is not the new Enterprise. Classic for real,
Oh,
$2.
goodness.
Biggest fake battle ever, don't you know?
Yeah,
Correct.
probably. I do wish they had not the Voyager A, but one of those classes show up. They've criminally ignored that. But great fleet configuration, like I said, perfect number of ships. It looks nice. And the warpin is very back to the binary star. And you really get the sense this is their entire flotilla. Because you wouldn't bring that many cargo ships to a battle, and they also don't shoot. So I liked that BSG allegory. This is the last survivors of the colonies. It's everybody. Because F it. Right? And we can't win with that fleet, guys, Federation-wise. That's not going to be enough. It's nice.
And then the order to tell our folks to put on a good show, but make sure they miss wide.
Which that I didn't like in the sense that, therefore, there are a lot of Klingon captains that aren't the general guy who would say, they suck at aiming. Are they letting us win? Yes, that is dishonorable. I would have said fire on them, but don't hit anything important. I would have actively made that command because you would want that. I think that was a misstep because I'm sure now you could easily have plot points in season 2 where some general's like, was that a fake fight, Chancellor? No. Well, they didn't shoot us once. No. You know, that let them down a little bit, but also it's like, yeah, they don't want to ethically shoot.
Yeah.
That said, in our edited review, one of these things, I called out the Federation don't shoot anything. They do shoot very small green bolts.
Yeah.
Which means you can't tell it's them because they're fighting
green bolts
and lasers.
beams.
I don't understand, and it still is impossible to see they're shooting back. So big fuck up for the effects department because
one thing I really like is the fact that the shield impacts or the hits had a very unique sound, implying that maybe the disruptor bullets that they were using were low power, as opposed to a regular as a regular hit. Yeah. That's why it sounded so it was a funky sound. It was a good. I enjoyed the sound, but
95%, first assault. And
the shield's down to 95%. Yeah.
But the way they say that, it's like, oh, we're fine.
Yeah, everybody's kind of like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, that was their first assault. And their first 5% is quite a lot, but if that was a whole assault. And in Discovery, they have a habit of, at least seasons 3 to 5, where any weapon on any shield causes a petrol explosion. And because they go, constant petrol, it's very obnoxious. It's just so stupid. So I liked, as I said in our review, and your face lit up when I said it, which I appreciate having edited it, it's like a flower puff as a shield impact. There was no fire. It was just a chemically as if the energy dissipated. It's a really nice little effect that I actually appreciate. And it's kind of a bubble, actually, when you do freeze frame. It's a combination of bubble and on the hull is going around slightly. So I approve. It's my favourite, but I do approve of this style.
And classic for real throws in $5. USS Capricorn, USS Horizon, and USS Riker. They're missing a USS Expanse, USS Halo, and Stewart's favorite, USS Deanna Troi. Indeed.
Damn.
Indeed.
And I wouldn't say it was a good...
USS Deanna Troi crashed on its way. Yes, Lepiridon. Yes.
Well, the Badezoids are back, so... I don't think it's a good battle because it's not trying to be, right?
Well, exactly. It's like the Klingons are here, the Federation fleet, the planet, and it's just like fly through each other, shoot. Yep. And now we're here at the
So I think and it looks nice. It doesn't feel copy and paste because there's 4 classes as I learned, and they're distinct enough. And it's actually for them it's their cleanest battle yet, and a good amount of scale. So I hope we see more like this because it was a nice thing. And seeing them fly past was kind of fun. So like, all we have to do is just get past them to win. It's like a capture the flag. Oh no, we got the planet by being there first, even though they were in front of us. We got it!
Yeah, we seized this planet in the name of Klingon. Yeah.
Cut.
That's great.
In Federation space, though, so they're now technically at war and have annexed a planet inside Federation space. I'm just saying.
Well, they're not at war because the Vance next scene surrenders to them. So,
well, this battle, though, I can't imagine the war surrendering. Otherwise, there'd be terms to surrender of a war. I mean, you play either way for sure. But yeah, I like the guy's vibe here with the team. You know, good battle. It wasn't really a good battle, but it was kind of amusing. It's the chess game. It says the Klingon to come forward. It says hello, kind of. And a rather sweet the way he acted it, permission to beam. And then he like, who is he? How is he telling the ship to beam into his hand?
Don't even ask.
Don't even
This
ask.
has been a whole thing. They just transport. It's linked to their mind.
It would have been nice if he'd gone. What was his name? Mock, Jock,
Maltz.
Maltz, Joy Chu. Or Joel Joy Duchu. Yeah, beam it down. Would have been kind of sweet. Very small thing, but it's just a bit silly. It's almost as if like a Loki power, it sort of phases in. And is this the same bow as his dad made or not? So I thought it was.
Don't know. I thought it was different enough, but you said it was the same, so
it looks the same, but it's just a bow with a similar-ish design. I assume
traditional bow, yeah.
I assume it's the same bow because then his dad gave him the bow. It was a symbol of you've made it. Otherwise, a random bow wouldn't make sense because why would you give? It makes sense if it's the same bow. I have to go back and look at the props, but there's your bow.
Classic for real, $5. Sam, you were going to say they were missing the good ship lollipop. And Colonel Chris throws in $5. Weird priorities that he gives him a trophy before telling him his family is alive.
I called that out, yes.
I wish you would have said, like, your father gave me this and I now present it to you.
Yes.
Or something.
The structure of the scene is backwards. My father's bow. It's your bow. What? He is alive and he gave this to me, you know, in the cargo ship 7 on the planet. Do you want to go see him? No. It's fine. The scene works.
He's not on a cargo ship. They got their own ship.
Well, they did.
They got a
16 months ago.
They still do. They still have it.
How'd you know?
Because it's floating above them in the next scene where the mom looks up. Yeah, the mom looks up.
No, that was to check that the kid left. You think they went back to the planet and hung out there for 16 months? No, they're probably on the freighter. That's the point at the start of the episode. They said your family might have been on this crash thing because the houses are all.
It was never confirmed that they were, though.
But they implied though, as in that was a possibility. Yeah, this is just a continuing flashback. It's not the same color grade, in fairness. But what does the scene mean then if they're just looking up, given it's not the same place, the same hill as in when the thing fell?
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
John Hathcock, $10. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you.
Guess who's back?
Good. Be back. We like you back. And also as a PayPal Stuart as well, which we very much value. They absolutely help us out. Especially as our last live of the month. This is a really, really important time to help if you can, which you guys are doing. But PayPals are expertly amazing.
All right. Joe Wright, $2. So thank you, Jill. No comment, but thank you so much.
It's still a comment, though, by saying that.
I don't know. Well, the poll's been up for 19 minutes. But do you think Starfleet Academy more now we're 2 episodes in? Yes, more? Nope. Worse than when it started. My opinion has not changed.
Those are really interesting results.
People like it more because it respects Klingon canon, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it makes Klingon canon, but thing is, they're not Discovery Klingons. There's not even, apart from the Kalish, there's not even a hint of that. They've just completely abandoned it. Hala Kala Lula. Kalis Ula. Whatever. We'll close that poll. Interesting results. Thanks for voting, guys.
And Jeff Jacobs says, thanks for the PayPal, Joe. It was Jill, not Joe. Matt Boardman, $5. Your father gave me this watch.
Oh god, nice.
More cowbell.
Oh, I love that sketch.
I know.
Yeah. God. Okay.
Well, while you're putting up the new poll, we got to wrap this up because I do have things to do. Um, so how's the famous warrior stew spicy? Apparently, somebody last night in my first reaction live said that Klingons can't taste spicy, so doesn't. But it's who gives a shit anyway.
Well, it's spicy in his context of spicy. He wouldn't know what normal spice is. It's his conception of spicy.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great scene between the two of them, and it's like just that he says sorry, gives him gives him a new one of the recruitment balls, which I guess I don't know where he got it from, but that's fine. And yeah, he says sorry to you. You are a lot like my brother, though, so we are brothers. I just didn't want to replace him, and blah blah blah. Basically, is what it said. And it's kind of nice that he because he got the recruitment ball from his brother initially, and now he's getting it from Caleb to symbolize that they're also brothers. I didn't believe that I could have you could both live in my heart. So the dialogue's good here between the two of these guys.
I don't think it's amazing, but it's not too schmaltzy.
Exactly, and he mentions his mom. My mom's always with me.
Oh, always the baggage, isn't it, Stuart, with him? Every episode is about his
Oh yeah,
mum. Constantly,
it's all mommy issues.
all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When was the last time I mentioned it? Episode 2, briefly? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff Jacobs says, I think he fixed it for him. Maybe he fixed
Oh,
his.
oh yeah, 100%. He fixed it because he says that because the guy, the bully, saw it on the table, saw him trying to fix
Oh
it.
yeah, he said had the help of a Kyonian who was nice for a minute.
Yeah, he broke in and they fixed it. Yeah, that's how I kind of make some partially the Mary Sue of it. It's like
Okay.
he also fixed. I mean, it's not that hard, but he fixed this. But it's like, yeah, he did it for him,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Uh, Sullivan, or Sean Sullivan, basically. €2. Nice church bench noises. Hashtag Hoffier. So pew pew, I guess. I don't know what you're talking about, Sean.
Appreciate you. And it ends
But
on
yes,
a
we do miss Fleepa for sure.
yes, and it ends on a lovely. I mean, obviously heavy fisted in a sense, but it's also join the academy because that's what the ball says. It's like, yep, that's
Mm-hmm.
a nice way to gently end. They all learned, they all improved, and I think the moral of this one is he found his voice because he's been very quiet this season, so found his voice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is it, guys. It's time for you guys now to take center stage and super chat in
Yes,
or PayPal in,
yes.
even with your scores out of 10. We want to hear your scores for this episode out of 10. I will, of course, read those after we have given our spiels and our scores. And if you don't want to PayPal or super chat because you can't, you can put them in the regular chat. Sam will read those out as well. But yeah, looking forward to any little bit of support you have to close us out. So we want to hear your scores.
Yeah, these are our big lives for Trek, for the new Trek. And if you want to give a brief little review thoughts, that put $1 in the PayPal with a review because you put more text there if you want. And the vote in the poll, guys, if you can. Do you think this show did Klingons well? Yes, Klingons are pretty good. Better than Discovery, that's all. Or no, they messed up the Klingons, so vote now. So Stuart, I'll ask you the big, giant question, and I have no idea what you're going to say with this. I don't know what I'm going to say either. So Stuart, what do you think now, having done 2 hour pretty in-depth review? I think it's had a lot of discussion, a lot of detail. Do you like it more or less? And then final score.
I think I like it more because of you guys, like he repaired the ball. I didn't get that sense. I just thought it was another ball, but that makes sense about the Kyonian thing. So like things like that I'm just too stupid to get the first, second, third time get answered here. And I
Well, you're
appreciate
only
that.
human.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, I think talking about it has kind of made it better because it's got some of the subtleties have come through and maybe some not so subtleties as well. But yeah, I don't have anything else to really say about that. Um, Good episode, not the best of the season so far, but absolutely not the worst. Much better than the last episode. And yeah, if you like Klingon stuff, this hopefully scratched your itch. I know we've been asking about the Klingons since they went to the future in Discovery. Finally getting
For
some
5 years, we've been
closure
asking.
there.
4 years.
Yeah. Kind of not underwhelmed or upset or disappointed by the fact that they just did the Romulan thing again by destroying their homeworld, but
Well, the Empire.
the whole empire, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. That also pisses me off, but that's fine. Good acting, I think. I like Jaden a lot better. Caleb really impressed me in this episode. It's great to see the Doctor back. The flashbacks weren't so annoying. Usually, I'm not a big fan of those. Like I said, it kind of reminded me of Discovery a bit with the way it was filmed, but other than that, it did never say that it's welcome. It very much, you know, yeah, it was properly paced and short enough, I think. I don't like the fact that the thing with the dad, that's his way of giving his
Which
son
dad?
freedom. Giving his son freedom it's just a theory that they have. Yes, she knows Klingons, I get it, but he might have actually missed. He might not have actually. He might have disowned his kid, but I guess not, because the ending if that's the same bow, which we needed clarification on. Um, it would have been a nice nod to yes, they were in fact correct. But as of right now, Jaden doesn't have evidence of that. Neither does Thok. They just are speculating as to what. It's fine. So yeah, overall enjoyable enough episode, but like I said, it suffered from set fatigue, I guess, and some repetitive stuff with the debating. The debates are all pretty good, like they're all well worded and well acted, and I love Caleb doing his thing. But it, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I have one single fix based on what you just last said that I think would have just radically improved it for us. You do have a little Klingon bridge set for the captain at the end, and you use that same set redressed to be the mum and dad's ship to have one of the scene or two of the scenes from the flashbacks in. So give two different other sets to break it up. So flashbacks aren't all the exact same thing. There's a bit of set.
Yeah,
That would have
yeah.
instantly upped it by a lot, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, got to know Jaden a bit better. I do like the character. I wasn't sure what I would think about this character going into the show, but he's been impressing me. So, um, yeah. Anyway, scoring.
Just to remind you,
Uh,
as ever, we are looking for the component to all new Trek. So that's from Discovery onwards. Old Trek, up to Enterprise, and Enjoyment. Very different metrics, as you guys know.
so okay, we'll start with enjoyment.
Yeah.
Enjoyment for this one for me would be like a 7.8.
Okay.
What's the next one? Sorry.
Either Old Trek or New Trek. So how's it compared to all the new Treks and the old Treks?
All the new Treks.
Which does include Prodigy and Lower Decks, of course.
Yeah. I'll give it a 7.7.
Wow. Okay. And then if you actually compare it to TNG or DS9, etc.
It's pretty close. It's well written enough. I could see this being a TNG episode for sure, just with some tweaks and changes. But
does it make, if I say this would be a season 2 TNG episode, like not refined but on the right track?
Yeah. For that, I'm going to give it a 7. A hard 7.
Oof. Yeah, well done. Good scores all around then.
Yeah. How about you? What do you think now talking about it? And
I think Super Chat's first year because people like hearing their names and my coach. More people to jump in right at the end because you guys are killing it. Thank you.
Classic for real, $2. Biggest score ever. Don't you know? Question mark out of 10.
Oh,
Thanks, Classic.
Useful.
Can be a mystery. Andy Urick, $20, 8.5 out of 10. Well, thank you very much for the super chat and the score.
Amazing. Thank you.
And Sesaguru 2000, €5, 6.8 out of 10. An okay episode. It's the next one I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the next one, actually.
But your expectations are now higher. You should be worried.
I know.
That fact.
Darren Mooney saw the first 5 episodes, and according to him, episode 5 made him unusually angry.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Because they can butcher DS9 if that's where they're going.
They could.
And then Cisco came back in 2750 and died again. It's like, what? And Jake became a hobo on a planet. you know. Oh, imagine they have holographic
Right.
Cassandra, Cassie, I know, ironically. Yes, so good episode, not the best. Pacing wise, a little bit off. Everything could have been canonized a tad better and work out better, but it was touching as good as the show can do, which I appreciate. The acting was really good, the Doctor was really good, set fatigue, absolutely. The Klingon guy was a standout, well done him. As they keep doing political leaders really well. President of Earth, President of the Federation, President of Navarre, great. So well done for them. Yeah, I would just strip it down a little bit. Would definitely read down the flashbacks to have them have some tech, have them fire some disruptors, use some other tech to kind of make them feel more like a Klingon people, not just hermits or whatever, or see the colony. Something to elevate those from being just cheap flashbacky things, which needed some more, but good casting, decent makeup, decent costumes. And I really, really like the end. The end really elevates it, which helps. But it's still not, compared to a DS9 Klingon episode, it's so far below, you know, and TNG. Like, I far prefer Heart of Glory from TNG Season 1 or 2. Like, that's a much better episode to me, but that's apples and oranges, right? Yeah, it's an episode that could be a bit better, but it's pretty damn solid. I think I enjoyed episode 1 more, but this could be refined into a better episode and better than last. I mean, it's double the quality of last episode, at least, right? At least for enjoyment for me. Enjoyment, there's a few highs, there's quite a lot of mids, not that many lows. I think 7 feels about right. I think a pleasant 7, I think. New Trek, it's definitely beats all Picard Season 2, except the start and the end. Right? New Trek, oh man. See, it's annoying. I judge you for your scores internally, that like me into, and then I'm like, damn it, it's probably a 7 as well for New Trek. So I'm like, back to the enjoyment, it feels about right. Old Trek, I'll go 5.5, because it's definitely, you know, an average Klingon episode. You know, so definitely substantially less good, but the characters have some zippy moments and stuff. Yeah, so it is literally over double enjoyment of last week's. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. We got one more Super Chat Classic for real, $2. Genesis does what Sev isn't out of 10.
And the non-super chat scores are Colonel Chris 8 out of 10, good Klingon episode. Stanley 7 out of 10, Joseph 7.7, half point for Goldsmith Klingon theme. Oh yeah, well, lovely, very appropriate. Aussie 9.1, Mum gives it 9.2, so very high. Anton 7.5 pints of blood wine out of 10. So all pretty strong scores, which does not reflect the D's we got in the poll earlier. That would surely be the C.
They left already. They didn't want to hear it.
Well, very fair. Thribs C+, Jeffrey Jacob 7.75. And then Michael says solid 7 out of 10. Better direction would have made a huge difference. Yeah.
And see you later, Hypno Amber. Good to have you back as well. Hopefully you can join
Indeed.
us for the next one.
Join us next week for Things and Bobs.
All right, well, let's close out this poll with 55 votes. Do you think the show did Klingons well? Nope, they messed up. Klingons 42%.
Man.
Second place is yes, Klingons were pretty good, 33%. And better than Disco Klingons, that's all, 27%. So,
but still 62% better than yeah. Okay.
All right.
Oof.
All right, guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for joining us. Check out our content this weekend and join us next week for lives and of course next Friday for the next episode review, which should be an interesting one.
And Epic Drunk Yards February. Get ready for those because they're going to be special. So tune in for that.
Yes.
Until next time.
He's Commander Kraken.
He's got a Foley.